Um, right, I'm going to explain Leo from the start. Beginning, right? We're going to explain the basics Leo and something intermediate from the start. Maybe beginning, right? Or advanced. Explain the basics Leo and something intermediate from the start. Maybe beginning, right? We're going to explain there is actually something intermediate a plan. So we're going to explain there is actually start an introduction. So we're going to actually start well an introduction. So we're going to actually start well an introduction. So we're going to actually start well an introduction. So we're going to actually start well an introduction. Okay, so to start and to say, okay, so to start something about Leo, I would like to say that he or she, okay, so the very simple Leo, character. I would like to say that as for the moves, but I think that's very simple, but very effective. As for the moves, the question, the fact about the gender is that on the art book, it's written that the ambiguity of the character was made on purpose. It's written that the ambiguity of the character was made on purpose. They had the intention of opening to the gender they had the intention question gender issue so it was made on purpose gender they had the anyway let's start gender issue so we're talking about it was made on purpose gender about the anyway let's poking move gender issue so we're talking about it was made on purpose Leo about the anyway let's poking move try to get some good stuff Leo poking so I'm trying to show you like get some good stuff Leo or two so I'm trying to show you like get some good stuff Leo or two this is 2-1 I'm trying to show you that is the one this is 2-1 Dao Marco that is the start of the 10 hit so we're going to see that later Dao Marco it is the start of the 10 hit. Down 4-1. So down 4-1 later is 13 frames and down 4-1 it is a very is 13 frames and because it can it is a very I think that 13 frames is a good speed. I think that 13 frames is the best way you can try to follow the moves is speed. Sure, go best into the practice mode and try to learn if the moves what you can do. Speed. Sure, when the opponent best into the practice mode or something like that. Try to learn if the moves what you can do. I'm trying to show you practice mode or something like that. Try to learn if the moves what you can do. I'm trying to one show you if one or something like that. Try to learn if trying to sidestep. You can do. I'm trying. Okay, so and sidestep one show you if one right. Or that's something interesting because when you do down 4 you have this which is not general down 4 which every character has so to do the low hooking she does this down 3 plus 4 she's actually that's something interesting because when you do down 4 you have this which is actually quite fast. So you can have a situation like this. Okay, so this is something interesting poking, but we are talking about the advantage of 1. So this is another interesting poking. So like 1 down forward 4, which is 13 frames but a bit longer. So since it's longer, maybe it can be sidestepped as well. On the right, well, so what can she do? She can do down forward 3, so like, or up forward 3. So it all depends on your choice. You have to choose what to do about this. As for the poking moves, so we have this, but it's slower because it's part of this move. So this is faster, but Leo recovers standing. So what can be a high crush low? We have something like this, but this is very, very slow. It's not poking, so I think that this is actually the only high crush move where Leo hits low, but it's low and minus 13. Even more, so it's like minus 15, 16. So not very good. I do not recommend that you do. So it's something like distance, because you don't have very, very good low poke moves. So you have to play in a particular way so that the opponent can whiff. So everything is really based on frames as for Leo. And another low interesting, maybe not poking move, but interesting move is this one. So counter it and guarantee this. But interesting thing is that on hit is -1 or -2. So if you look at the page of the frame data, it's -1 or -2. What can I do with this? I can do maybe. Okay, so if your opponent tries to hit you back because he thinks you are on a great disadvantage of frames, he will be hit by your down forward 2, which is -13. So anyway, this is very interesting. Let's try something longer. Yeah, this is longer, but Leo lock. Okay, So maybe I can try low. Yeah, that's it. So, of course, you can sidestep as well. Buonasera, Zio Solid. That is very interesting. So, this thing can be adapted to every character of your choice. So you can, of course, try this thing on other moves which are -1 or 2 and then get back, and then if your opponent does something, you can launch him if your character has a launcher like that. Remember that down forward, Leo's down forward 2 is -13. It's quite long range, move, but it can it be sidestepped? Not left, but maybe on the right. I'm trying, but no way. Remember that the other Leo, my opponent has +1, so now at closest distance your opponent can't sidestep. Maybe have to be here, or here. On the right, but only if you are at mid distance. Okay, and you have to sidewalk, because if I do a quick sidestep, yeah, only if you sidewalk on the right. So that's important. And remember that you can punish this one only if you have a good punishment. Try from here. For example, Leo has this, which is 13 frames, and it's very good. Punished it. But as I showed you, I think last time, we had a punishment. Ciao the Bigoni. We had a punishment with Asuka. And we saw that the move is not punishable. Better we try yeah, Asuka and Leo. If Leo does down forward 2 at a certain distance, which is the maximum distance, you will see that you're not going to punish. So actually, down forward 2, Leo's down forward 2 is maybe one of the best moves, one of the best moves for sure, because you have a long range with Punisher. Remember that if your opponent is crouched, it doesn't work, like for example Dragunov's. So let's try. So Asuka has got this punishment, which is very, very good. Yeah, this one. So if he gets the perfect distance, Asuka, not only does Asuka with the punishment, but she will be punished by another down forward 2 by Leo, because that move is like minus 18 at least. So I think that if you are at a good range anyway, you can do this. Down forward 2 is one of the best moves in my opinion, but let's say why. You have to be ready because your hop kick, Leo's hop kick, is very short, so the range is too close and you have to rely on your down forward 2. For example, if you get like the opposite, you have for example this example, you know that Asuka's got up forward 4 and up forward 3. So if you get down forward 2 at a certain distance, it's important that you know very well, know your Carter, you know the other Carter, the opponent's Carter very well, because you have to imagine distance of the moves is going to do like this. Okay. Try the other one. You have to be very quick anyway, because you have strict time to punish her. It's case, but it depends on move. So other moves I would use, apart from the pokings are not so many, because you have to have just this. You can do a quick while standing 4, but anyway it's -10. So on hit you have +5, so it's very nice if you do like this. You can do it, but you know, it's up to you. Then you can have other moves that I would use are this. This is 4 forward, 3 4 3, which can continue into forward 4 3 4. What happens with there has been a change from Tekken Tag 2 to Tekken 7 in terms of frames. So have had different frames here, and we have now we're trying to punish. You know, in Tekken Tag 2, the low was punishable by a launcher, but now it isn't. So can the opponent, let's try to do okay, if you're Leo you can do just 1 2 and you get a good combo, maybe not the best one, but combo, or the low that hits the opponent only. So on counter, what happens is I block the 2 mid and I try to press the low. Hello Dark-Gunner. I try to press something, even just a jab. I get countered anyway. So no way. The only thing the only thing I can do is parry. Okay? But how can I decide? Hello, Dark How can I decide? What can I do? There is something very interesting in here, and it is that Leo will, the third hit will come out only if Leo shouts. Can you hear that? Try now. So the low hit will come out only if Leo shouts. This is very, very interesting. So it's it shows that sound is very, very important. Anyway, the low hit is minus 12. Yeah, Leo has while standing for 11 frames Punisher, so it's quite good. Okay. But of course, Terry will be better. Okay. Well, 14-7 damage without the wall, so nice. So this is one of the good moves I would use. I'll show you an example. You have to be faster, of course, than when you try down forward 2, because if you know, this move can you can get a combo, but you will hit your opponent even if he or she crouches. So it's very good because it's only a short, shortly punishable. So I want to show you. Something useful. It's for example, when Lucky Chloe's goes back turned and you wanna interrupt her, and just have to see at the distance. So like something like this. Okay. Have to be quick anyway. For example, if I do it's dangerous because if you're not quick, she can okay. Yeah, 4-4-4-3 is very good because you interrupt her anyway. But if you're not quick with down forward 2, you get this. Okay, so 4-4-4-3 is very good, but you have to be quick anyway because it's slower. The purposes are, for example, against Xiaoyu Phoenix Stance. Let's count 2 other moves from here. Right. Okay, we have other interesting moves. Back one. Back one is very, because this move has an interesting range. It's something like, you think that your opponent may think that he or she will not get hit by that, but it's long. And on counter it, you can get just one hit by counter, or you can do the follow-up and you can get a juggle anyway. So thing is that depending on the character you're facing, you have to know, and this is very tricky or not easy to do, you have to know which character can sidestep the second hit. For example, I can tell you that Akuma can't sidestep the second hit. So you have to write down every character that can sidestep that thing, because if you're facing someone that can sidestep or do something particular, like for example going into a stance, for example like Fang, I'm going to see later. Yeah. No sidestep. Not on the right. Okay. Can I interrupt it? No. No. So maybe we can have a Shoryuken with the bar. Yes. Thank you very much, Dagana. I could have done something better, but you know, the first two formula is very hard to get. Thank you. Anyway, Akuma can interrupt this only with the Shoryuken, so you have to see if he has the boss. But if you have another opponent, which can be, for example, Dragon, Leo, of course, the second hit can be sidestepped. Dragunov's left. Allora, può essere interrotta da un giù 1, metto basso. So I'll show you that everything can be interrupted by down 1 or down back 1, depending on your character, but not this one. Okay? So, but anyway, a wise opponent sidestep the second hit. Okay, so it's easier because any kind of any kind of movement, de nada. Any kind of movement is can be sidestepped if your character is able to do that. Okay, so the question is that can Leo do just this? Okay, but not safe, so it's minus 12 probably. Let's see. Yeah, minus 12. So there are characters which can even do something like reversal or like Fang, which goes in who goes into a stance and then punish Leo. So you have to be careful with that. And let's see. In terms of combo, we're trying to see that later. Another one which is similar, but you can have just one hit, this one. So down one on counter it, followed by while standing 3. Okay. The and safe. So it's safe. So it's a good move. Nice sidestep. Remember that when you want to try to know if a move is sidesteppable, you can get into practice and do one, then the move you need. So yeah, on both sides. Let's try here. You see? So the sidestep can change depending on the range of the move. Because anyway, I think that this can be a good move, maybe against Xiaoyu's Phoenix, Art of Phoenix. And you get a good combo. Plus, you can have tens. Something like this. You go into a full crouch position. Okay, so you can do this and just wait. Another good move I love is this one. Back 3-1 is mid. You can get a good advantage, and I'm going to tell you which is your advantage. And it's safe, and it can go into transition, so you can, if you press down, you're gonna try interesting to see how that works. So it's like okay, so if your opponent does down forward 3, down forward 1, which is mid hit, and you have gone into the transition of BOK, he can get it by BOK2. So because this stance is very powerful. Okay, you can go into that by just pressing down and 1+2. So I like this, and it's I'm going to be very precise. It's +4, -7 +4. So it starts with 14 frames, 15 frames, but it's +4 on hit, and you can just do this. So try, for example, you have +4, so it's a good advantage. The opponent, can he try to sidestep? No. No. Anyway. So I would recommend that you just do this, maybe not this one, because good opponent will punish you with something that hits you even if you are on the stance. So be careful with that. Just do this, okay? Then another interesting move can be this one. We have two. We have this, which is middle high, and it's good advantage even here, but you know, second hit can be ducked, so you have to be careful. And it's +7 +8, and it's natural combo. We're going to try this. We have back to 1 and back to 2, which is high. Let's see. È molto utile, ma bisogna usarla con molta cautela. I was saying that BOK stance is very useful, but you have to be careful with that because the wise opponent can punish you with something that can hit you. This one. So I first finish with this. So you can have just these options. So it's back to 1 or back 1+2. Back 1+2 is -11, -10, but the opponent is crouching, so your opponent can just do while standing 4, so it's good. And thing is that, is it combo? Yeah, it's natural combo, and the other one as well. So mid-high, if your opponent is crouching, it's natural combo, and then you have +7 +8, and also you can delay it. Very, very delayable. And also the other one, so it's very, very interesting because you can have this, and your opponent can't do anything. Let's try. Yeah, I'm trying to do back to avoid the down forward 2. Yeah, very hard. I try to sidestep. No, not on the left, but not on the right as well. So it's very interesting. You have to be careful with this because if you have a good opponent, you will probably try to duck on the second hit. So sometimes you can start with the mid hit, and it has a good effect on the wall because you have the mix up after that. But we're going to show it later. So this stance is another very, very interesting because you can do many things from this. You can do POK2, which is -9, I think. Let me check to be very, very precise. It's -9, -8 on the frame list, so it's safe, and you can get good juggle. Then the shoulder as well. So I think that one of the best moves. So the other option which comes to my mind immediately is stance with the 3 instead of the 2. So down 1 + 2 and then 3. This is high, but it can't be sidestepped. So no way. So the choice is what to do: to crouch or to sidestep. Because you can sidestep the okay. Yeah. So the thing is that you have to see what kind of movement your opponent has. If he's used to sidestepping or if he's used to crouch. But of course this is kind of a slow movement, so he or she can crouch and then stand immediately. So what to do? You can do something different. You can even do down 1 + 2 and then 1, which is a bit faster. I think it's like 13 frames in the execution from the stance, so it's faster. So thing is that at this distance, maybe the opponent will try to stop you to do the move to block this, and that's the moment, that's the right time to do this, which is anyway 14, 13. So it's something. It's anyway maybe punishable, but we have to see the range because it's not like it's something like. Let's see. Leo has a good 13 frames punishment and maybe 14 frames. So this is the 14 frames punishment which can punish this move, but not every character does have this. Okay, so yeah, for example, I'm going to show you. This means that when I see the stance, I try to do something, stop the launcher, the BOK2, but not very quick. I get hit by that one. And if you see the frame list, you have BOK12, it's +2, +3 on hit. So let's try. Yeah, you can have this, which is straight, but Leo will anyway launch you and maybe can juggle you anyway. Let's try. Okay, so this means that the +2, +3 is a good advantage, but maybe for the distance to get a downfall 2 after, and very nice anyway. Another thing is that you can do this and go into the 4. So you can get the transition into the other stance, okay? Which is King K. The thing is that when you go to this transition, you have another set. So it's like you can have this, you can have this, but now it's high in second tag. Was mid. Okay. So, sorry for the pause. So you can have this BOK stance and you can actually go into middle. So the reason why you can do a middle is that your opponent does maybe is frightened of this, so you will tease him by doing this and change into mid. So you can have this, but you're going to see if this is interruptible, or this is mid low, or this which is high but it's not interruptible after the 4. So these are the properties of this stance. But the other thing is that you can also do this. So if you do down 1 plus 2 and then 1 plus 2 again, you have a high power crush. Let's check. Okay. And you can have this and shoulder, which is forward 1 plus 2. So the question is when to use this. Maybe you can do something like this. Let's try. If you do something very fast, your opponent will get this. If you do something slow, you will get hit. You will be hit. So of course it's a choice, but it depends on your character's ability to interrupt, or maybe it depends on your opponent's kind of ability against Leo. Okay, so these are the moves that this middle have you know, the BOK12 is in effect minus 14-13, so you have to be a sort of pushback, but it's punishable. Okay, see the reaction. But you can also just do like this. So you just don't do anything and then crouch, and then you can while standing 2, which is minus 13, like down forward 2. Okay, and that's why I would use that something some occasions, no? Because your opponent may try to crouch or move. Know that in this game the movement is punishable. It's very, very fast, so it's like fine. The thing is that this move, I like this because it's even longer, so it has a longer range than down forward 2. You can hit your opponent also if he or she crouches. So yeah, you will not get the juggle because it's down forward 2, but have a juggle if it's Y standing 2. So this is Y standing 2, which has a longer range. Let's see how long it is. Very, very. And you can have usual juggle. Quite easy. Maybe the last part, the shoulder is a bit tricky, but I use the buffer. So when I do this part, after this part, I just dash, and then when I press forward 4, I immediately after press 1 and keep it pressed, so you just have the last part buffered by pressing 2. So you know that if you press just 1, you have the addition of the other button. So you have a shoulder, for example, doing you have 1 pressed and then forward 2, and you have the shoulder. So I just do forward 4, then immediately after I press 1, and then I add the 2 to get the shoulder. So it's like okay. So I just add the button to be sure that it comes out. Of course, I can just do an Oki decision, so I just don't do the shoulder to have my opponent close. For example, like this. And I am closer. So of course you have to be careful because your opponent can do a standing 3 or standing 4. So when he's on the ground, you have to be careful. Okay? You can just be careful and do nothing. So let's get back to where we were. So we were here, and you can cancel the stance. You can do while standing 2, but you can also do a sweep. So, or down 4 without cancelling. You have to be careful because if you do it immediately, before the knee will come out, so you have to be a little bit more patient. Like press down, you keep down, and then its timing is 1 2 1 2. If you press it before, you get the knee, which is not bad because after the knee you get a +8, so the opponent in general can be can do nothing, so maybe he or she has to wait. But we're going to that in a second. So after this we can have this, we can have this. You have to practice it. You can do it twice. Your opponent should be scared of it, but maybe not. Or you can have this, you can have this, have sweep. Maybe the sweep is a bit different because you have to cancel the stance, and you do that by just pressing quickly up. So, and then sweep. Or the same thing, cancelling the BOK stance, and then you do the other good move, down forward 2+3. So which is this, and this is interesting. So the next thing we are going to talk is the other stance, which is King K stance. It's K and K starting from 4-4. You can have, okay, if you press 1, 1, 2, have high, middle. Is it punishable? Let's try 13 frames. No. 10 frames, okay. Yeah, 12 frames. So it's 12 frames punishable, but that's it. The thing is that before it was mid-mid, but now it's high-mid, so it's worsened. But you can also have forward 4 and then 2, which cannot be interrupted by everything but down 1. Let's try. Okay. Can do that. Leo can do this. So maybe you can sidestep this. Right. Left. Okay. So the thing is that it's up to you. It's a decision that Leo takes depending on the character's, the opponent's ability to face Leo. In general, I try to be more patient, and I don't like so much this stance, but it's changed somehow in this. So forward 4 and then 1, 2. Forward 4 and then 2. You get the canary if the opponent tries to interrupt it with something. Okay. You can have a juggle. Simple juggle like this. What else? We have the hop kick from forward to forward, forward 4, and then 3, 4. Bam, bam. Okay. It's actually minus probably minus 12. So anyway, frames are quite good, but this can be interrupted and you get a float juggle. So by 10 frames. Okay. Remember, it can be sidestep. So watch out. What else? The other interesting thing that's changed in Tekken 7 is forward 4-4, which is mid-low. Actually, this was launcher punishable, but now is, let's try. This knee is while standing 3, and it's 13 frames, and as you can see, away. So this is just probably minus 12, I think. Let me check anyway to be precise, but I think it's minus okay, minus 12, minus 11. And the good thing is that minus 12 on block, but it's plus 4, plus 5 on hit. So certo, tra un po' ci arrivo. So you have because Leo in this case on hit, so if you do forward 4-4-4, the low is plus 4 plus 5, so it's very nice because you can get launched. Let me think about okay, the other important move is this one, down forward 2 plus 3, which after the patch, after the last patch, the properties, the frame properties were changed from minus 14 frames to minus 15 frames, so now is launcher punishable. But this is, while standing 2 is considered 16 frames. So I have to do an hop kick, which is 15 frames. The reason why this move anyway is good is that you have, if it's on normal, the result is this, and you can try this, or if your opponent tries to get back, you can do this. Okay, so this is the choice. But the other thing is that on counter it's oh, okay, Andrew. This is the result. So there is a difference, a big difference. Ciao Aurora, benvenuta. There is a big difference in the result. So you see the difference in the animation, and if you have this, you have to do forward, so a slight dash, and then up forward 3-4, which is combo. So the good thing is that after this, there is a sort of so the dash is very, very slight. You don't have to go so much forward. So after this, you can get decision, because if the opponent presses something, you can have down forward 2, but if the opponent stays on the ground, you can get Another up is up 3+4. So it's very, or you can just down 4, but it's up to you. You can do many things. You can also do it depends if your opponent tries to stand and block, and you have to see if he or she can do that. So the other move I was doing was up 3+4, which on counter hit is can lead to a juggle. So the juggle starts with 2. Which is 73, but this is very slow. So the use of this is not so easy to the use of this is not easy because it is low, and you can have hello Smith McQueen, nice to meet you. You have this, for example, at distance, because it's something like on the same place, but maybe the good thing is that you can try this when your opponent tries to stand up in some particular occasions. So after this, for example, or of course after this as well, because if you just get, you know, 3 hits is 39 damage on counter, but you can have just 1 hit and you can get this, which is not combo for the computer, but anyway, you can try that. And if the opponent doesn't stand properly, he will be hit by another up 3+4, and so on and so on. But then if he tries to block, you can change into a sweep. So there are actually many chances to get it. So watch out anyway. The other move, which is very launcher punishable, is this one, which is anyway, okay, it's low, but you can do it in only in this position. So only if you are here, because it's full crushed, down forward 3. The thing is that if your opponent expects you to do that, you can get by standing 2. So if you are able to see if he has crushed or not, you are very good at choosing the best move to do. So let me see, before going to the combos, if we can yeah, we are going to explain the combo from the Magic 4, but be another poking, let me check. Okay, just to move to the punishers, you have a 10 frame punishment, 10 frames punisher, which is 1/4, which is plus, I think, +5 on hit, and you know that, yeah, +5 on it. So thing is that if your opponent tries to hit you back after this on hit. Can I do back? Yeah. So the thing is that if you know that your opponent is aggressive and will try to hit you back, you can get a launcher if you do down forward too. But he doesn't. It's better you just stay and keep your advantage and you just don't use it. Then you have this, which is 11 frame punishment, but not very used anyway. It's 2-2, which is high mid, but it's minus 13 on block. So you can use this for the 11 frame punishments. Minus 13 frames. So let's get on to the 13 frames punishment, which is up forward 1-2. Very interesting because you can do it on a crouched position. So for example, a good example is Heihachi's Twin Pistons, which is down forward 1-2. For example, if your opponent forgets that he's at the wall, he will be heavily punished by that after doing Twin Pistons. Let's try. So after this move, you have a full crouched position, see it, but this move will come out will also come out if you are crouched. So it's like the movement is a bit particular. You have to be really... Ci arrivo, Aurora, ci arrivo. You have to be really quick because your thumb has to be very, very steady on the up forward. So if we have this kind of... Okay. And there's a sort of... Yeah, you don't have the wall splat, but anyway, it's very good. So you have to just have to see if you have a wall splat. Then, as so this is very good 13 frames puncher. The 14 frames puncher is forward 2-2. So let me try. So while standing, Heihachi's while standing 1 is minus 14 frames, and you have this punishment. Okay, combo, it's good, and quite anyway, you have to be careful because I think it's minus 14, but let me check if I'm not wrong. It's no, it's minus 12, so it's very good anyway because your opponent will not launch you, so maybe unless he's Akuma, so it's nice anyway. Other punishers, yeah, so you have after this, which is 14 frames punisher, you have a 15 frames punisher, which is hop kick. Leo's general hop kick is up forward 4. It's not very good because it's short range, really short range. Okay, so my question was, when can it be useful and why? Thing is that while down forward 2 of Leo can be considered 15 or 16 frames depending on the range and the moment. So the thing is that if you find a move that it's minus 15 frames and not minus 16 frames, you have to be careful to use up forward 4 instead of down forward 2. Let me check. Ma Steve in che senso? Stasera è dedicata a Leo. For example, we have down back 3, which is minus 50 frames, and you don't have any giocare contro you don't have any while standing 2, so maybe it's because we have to do just up forward 4, okay? But if the distance raga, ma che state a dire? Di che parliamo? Anyway, this is up forward 4, but since I told you that it's very short, so if the range is this, you will not have any punishment. But fortunately, Leo has the magic while standing 4, which is very long. So even at the maximum distance, in this case, you will hit Banks down back 3. Another nice example, good example to explain why up forward 4 can be more useful than down forward 2 if you are really good at remembering the punishments, is this move. Let me try. This move can be punished by down forward 2, because down forward 2 is 16 but also sometimes 15 frames. But in case, for example, you have a character like Eliza, you have Bravo Griever. So I have been useful. Have to be careful about the frames, because if you see that your move is 15 frames or 16 frames, there is a huge difference. It's very important, because if on the frame list it's written that it's a move is, for example, 15 frames or 16 frames, it means that in some cases you have both of them. But let me show you the same example with the move. So this is minus 15, and this launcher from this point of view is 16 frames, so you don't have it. You would have something like this, but this is the 15 frames launcher of Eliza. So you have okay, or okay, so the frames are very important. You have to be careful about every number.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7, Leo. Master Raven.
So we were talking about the hop kick is 15 frames. Down forward 2 is 16 frames. So you have to be sure that your move is right against your opponent's move. Io credo sia scritto 16 frame sulla frame list, quella di Norway almeno. So on Norway you will find down forward 2 of Eliza 16 frames. Anche perché se fosse 14 su. But it's not the case. Maybe you're looking at the wrong frame list. Ma stai parlando di Norway? Are you talking about Norway list? Okay, that's the reason why you have to be careful. Even when a number is written on your frame list, you have to check it anyway. So apart from these punishers, this is lower. So 4 is, I think, 19-20 frames. So I wouldn't say that is good as a a punisher when you block your opponent's move, but it's good as a whiff punisher. For example, in this case, I try to do a quarter circle forward 4 by Raven, and then the reversal. So okay, you have to be careful with the juggle because it's on the back, so not the same thing, and it has a long range, so you have to be careful. It's very hard to reverse it, or maybe ouch. Yeah, This is a reversal, so you have to be careful with timing. Okay? Then lower punisher is this one, which almost every character has, and it's a forward neutral 4, which is probably more than 20 frames, but so the damage is very good, but you have to remember that you can use that after, for example, Ayachi's Hell Sweep, Devil Jin's Hell Sweep, Kazuya's, or Jin Kazama's Hell Sweep. So you have to check this information. So maybe some moves can be punished by this, but you have to be really precise, because the movement, when you go forward, you will lose some frames, so you have to stop. After this, somebody asked me for the combos. So normal combo is down forward 2, forward 2, so down forward 2, back 1 4, while standing 3, which is probably the hardest part of juggle, because it's easy, but you have to cancel the King K by going down forward and then immediately while standing. So, and then you get forward 4 and then 2, which is the spin. So after the spin, you can finish the juggle by having a dash, and then forward 4, and then again cancel of the King K stance, and then while standing 1 plus 2. So it's like this is without the wall. You can actually do down forward 4 and then 4. But this will work only on linear situation and maybe some characters may with. Forse alla fine, ma per ora. Ah, Griever mi ha sfidato. So the combo, somebody eccolo. You wanted to see the juggle from this. Unfortunately, Leo has something very hard to do, because I've seen the Korean player, but he was just checking if the one hits. So after the magic 4 on counter, you can try this, but as you can see, it whiffs. Sometimes you hit him For example, you have the immediate back one. Yeah, you see? Some characters will be hit by that. And the thing is that on the left, it's easier. Try again. You can have both juggle if you do it on the left. But this means that you have like something sidestep and then 4, which is not that you do on sidestep, but it's interesting. Okay. Okay. So these are the staple combo after down forward 2. We have seen this. But you can have Oki, so you just stop and then decide something else. From up forward 4, you can have if you want to be sure, you can have the similar juggle problem. If you want to have something tricky, you can try this one. This is hard, so I have to hit him on the last moment, so very hard. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend that you do this. Allora il fatto è che non c'è la certezza perché ogni personaggio in questo gioco è fatto in modo diverso. Since every character is different in the structure, so in the physical structure, every hit has a different result. So if you have Magic 4, on some characters you have more frequent juggles. If you do, for example, forward 2 or back 1 4 immediately, but it depends on the character. So the thing that the Korean guy and I will do is just to check if you see if the one has hit, so you do 4 forward and then 1. I would recommend that you do just forward and then back 1 4 2, which is sure that will finish the juggle. So just and then the rest. Okay, don't try to do something different because you're not sure and you can get free punishment from your opponent. So that's it. As a white standing punishers, we have one of the best white standing punishments of the game. Punishers of the game is white standing 4 1+2, which is natural combo. It's like check 34 damage natural combo, but it can be interrupted by 10 frames. So if Leo does while standing 4, you can just press 1 against him. There.
Welcome to the king, Leo. Leo.
De nada.
Get ready for the next battle.
So thing is that if you see while standing 4, just interrupt the 4 by pressing 1. Okay, so it's minus 10 anyway. If you see the while standing 4, you just press the opponent, you just press 1 and you interrupt everything. Okay, that's a good solution against Leo. Then as for the other while standing punishers, you have a 13 frames Punisher, which is up forward 1-2. We have said that you can have this also when you are full crouched, but depends on whether your opponent is standing or full crouched as well. If you are against Dragunov and he does down 2, he is full crouched. So you cannot have up forward 1-2.
Welcome to the king of Iron, Leo. Sergei Dragunov.
So you have to really have to know
Get ready for the next
if it's better to do that or while standing 1+2, because everything as long as we are talking about 11 or 13 frames is depending on the status of your opponent. See, it whips because Dragunov is still crushed. So you have to do just this, or maybe it's better if you parry it. Okay? In case you want to do something to have game, you can have while standing 3. While standing 3 is 13 frames, and on hit is +6, +5, +6, so it's something like this. Let's check with the fastest. So it's when you do while standing 3 with Leo, you just have to do just while standing 3 that you can. Of course, you can also do this on dashing. So it's interesting because it's safe. It's just let me check, -6, -5, but it's +5, +6 on hit. So you don't just do this. Don't do this because this is launcher punchable, so it's like -15. So this is -15, and This is minus 18. So just do this. Okay. So this is okay. 13 frames Punisher. If you want to do 15 frames Punisher, you should try this. Like in the case of the of Fang's Downback 3 at close distance. Or if you wanna have 16 frames Punisher, you have Wide Standing 2. So you can have just a shoulder, but the shoulder Wide Standing 1+2 is just it is actually 13 frames at close range and 15 frames at the distance, but it's minus 15 at a close range, so it can be punched. And on block, on hit, on counter, you have this. If your opponent doesn't quick roll, so Punishers, Leo's Punishers are really simple, and another move I didn't talk about is up forward 2-1, which hit me and is harder to sidestep than before. This is safe, and it can lead to this for easy 38 damage, and if you're very good at it, I can't do that, but you can have Wide Standing 3 and its combo. So very hard to do that, but you can have that. So as for the punishments, you are against Leo.
Welcome to the King of Iron, Leo. Leo.
Depending on the moves,
Get ready for the next battle.
we haven't spoken about the juggles at all, but we will talk about that. So let me finish with the juggles before going to punish Leo. So these are the main juggles. When you have this is very simple. So these are the normal juggles. When you have back one on counter it, you're gonna have this, and as you can see, your opponent is not linear, so you have to do. Let me try. Okay, so you have back one on counter it, back one for 2, then you have to dash, and then 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, cancel, shoulder. So okay, if you have back 1 4 2, you can have this, or So it's just a matter of range. You just have to learn how to cancel the K stance, which is actually in every juggle. Mini combo for the cycle for 1 on Ganarit is by standing for 1+2. Then other combos are this, just have the normal forward 3 and the usual juggle. So the question is, is this useful? The usefulness of this move is very particular because you can use this move when you are at minus, for example, 6 maybe or 7. If you do, for example, let me try something like, so I did 4, which is I think minus 6. Let me check. 4 is minus 7. So let me try. I tried 4. Hey, I tried down forward 2. So this can be adapted also to other moves, and this is very interesting. As for the other combos, probably the hardest part is to see when you're getting to the wall. So when you get to the wall, you can have back 1 4 and then king k 3 4, but you have to see the distance, because for example this is mid distance wall. Okay, I just do back 1 4 and then the same. But if I am here, I can do also this. I can do a dash, then up forward 1 2, get to the wall, or also up forward 1 1, which is a little bit shorter. Which is easier after just you have down forward 2 and then forward 2, back 1 4 2 immediately. And you can also have this if you are approaching to the wall, but it depends if you are approaching. So if you are seeing that if you see that wall is coming, like here, no. Distant. So the hard part is just when you are going to the wall. Yeah, like this. Because I know that in the Forgotten Realm stage, at the beginning of the stage, you have one juggle, which is you just have an immediate spin, which is king k2, and then you have the move that leads your up, takes your up wall. You can do back 1-4, 3-4, or back 1-4, and shoulder. Thing is that the shoulder is not confirmed, so you have to choose. This is very easy, and it is more likely to be to happen. Shoulder is a bit different, and some cases probably maybe most of the times you get to the other side. You see, you get to the other side when you are at the other side. It changes side. Let me try to with the computer. See, I am at the other side. I'm just trying. Yeah, when you are in the other side, you can do down 4. If you want to check and just have a low damage, but you have to be careful because the opponent is on the other side. È lungo, Aurora, è lungo, ci vuole un po' di tempo. Allora, I think that the hard part is just to check you're getting to the wall, because if you're getting to the wall but you're not at the wall yet, you have to do something like this. This is too close. I do this. Okay, here we are. So if you're not at the wall, at the closest distance, you have to do after the spin. So after this, you have to do dash, then forward 4, cancel of the king K, then crouch, and then down forward, full crouch down forward 2. This. And then we're standing 1, 4, 1. Il problema è che after this tu dici che cosa fare dopo dietro 1-4 king K 3-4. So after this, you mean this, you can actually try to do but it's risky because your opponent can try to interrupt you with a standing 3, so he will get a juggle you. So maybe you can just try to do like this, or you can do a hop kick. You can do down forward 2. You can also do this. Down forward 3, which is another important move because you have this can't be sidestepped, so the opponent has to stay on the ground and maybe he can try to interrupt you and get you into juggle. Okay. Xiaomito. And the wall. I think that the best move is this. This move is mid is down back 1+2 then 1. Hit confirmable. Confirmable is like it's delayable and it's natural combo, so it's like, but I can also do sidestep to get more damage. Okay, so if you are at the wall, you can try to do back 1 4 okay, so follow up is you can do many moves, but you can also do a jump to the back, because if your opponent tries to hit something, you get right, so. Is Y standing 3. Okay, so when you do a jump to the back, you can actually do you are in a full crouch shoot position, and you can do also at the beginning of the round. If you do up back, you are in a full crouch shoot position, so you can do while standing 2 or full crouch down forward 3, which can lead you to a double sweep. Okay, and if your opponent tries to stand after the first hit, he will get hit by the second, and you see like Fine. Try another level. Trying to do the double sweep. Yeah, this one. See? The computer will never hit anything and you see the same position, but let's try to do very slow. See? Same position. If he tries to do something with the buttons, you can get a third sweep. But not the case of the computer because the computer knows it. Hola Alexanderson, ¿qué tal? Let me check. What else? As for the punishment against Leo, we'll probably get to the other episode, which will be on next Wednesday, because there's too much to say. So this is just the first part. Do you have any questions? Gracias, gracias. Espero que te guste y quieres preguntarme algo, me lo dices. I think that it's enough. The next time we're going to explain the combos at the wall and what to do, for example, when we are in this kind of stage. That, for example, something like this. But I will explain this next time because it's enough for today, and this was the first part about Leo. We're going to explain everything, and to leave you now, I'm going to show you the box that a friend of mine has made to me. This one, you can see this. So and here I just put my pet. She's in a in the see. Le perri le spieghiamo. We're going to explain the Leo's. We're going to explain Leo's parries in another case because there are many situations. You know, you have this, and you have this, which is very particular. But there are some interesting situations. So there is actually interesting situation. But if you are check So there are many situations in which you can use the parries, but there are some tricky stuff. There is some tricky stuff to learn, so it's not easy to explain it now because it's a long explanation. So I'd like to invite you to my next streaming next Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching me, and I hope you have enjoyed this streaming. And if you have any questions, please ask me now. Okay? I have finished my first explanation. Qualche domanda? Any questions? No? Okay, so we're going to meet each other to have another streaming on next Wednesday. So bye to everyone and see you next time. Yeah, Mito e Gigi Mito. So this box again was made by Gigi Mito. So if you wanna have your box, like if you wanna have a box, you have to contact this guy on Facebook, and he will create your box. So thank you so much for watching me, and bye to everyone.